Jamie Clayton just didn't scare the hell out of me like Doug Bradley did. Jamie Clayton was not intimidating to me. Entertainment for One podcast. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate all my subscribers. And of course, to all my new potential subscribers, go ahead and subscribe. I will thank you in advance as I appreciate you. Now, today we're talking about the exclusive Hulu release of Hellraiser 2022. Now, this film right here, you can only see it on Hulu. You can't go to the theaters and check it out. But it is pretty much a reboot of the successful Hellraiser franchise of the 1980s. Now, I think there was about 10, 11, or 12 Hellraiser sequels after the first one. And a lot of those sequels were absolutely trash. I mean, besides, after Hellraiser 2, the franchise basically started to decline and go downhill. And after they got to Hellraiser 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, beyond, it was just something that became very repetitive, and it just wore out its welcome on the audience. And a lot of the releases were straight to DVD. They didn't make it to theater, so it was just downhill. But now we have a reboot, or shall I say a reimagining of Clive Barker's very successful first two films, or very successful first film. And the synopsis of this one is, and today, let me make it clear, I'm primarily going to be talking about Jamie Clayton and her portrayal of Pinhead versus Doug Bradley's classic portrayal of Pinhead. I'm going to talk about that, but let me kind of give you an overview and synopsis of what this film is about, the reboot is about. The synopsis is, it is, like I said, a reimagining of Clive Barker's seminal Hellraiser franchise, where a young woman, she has to confront the sadistic supernatural forces behind a puzzle box that is responsible for her brother's disappearance. Now, this puzzle box is called the Lament Configuration. Now, this puzzle box opens the door to a whole bunch of just darkness, pretty much, to put it nicely. When the puzzle box is open, it opens the door to a realm beyond pain and pleasure. Trust me, it's a lot of pain. And, I don't know about the pleasure part, but if you're into S&M, you might get some pleasure out of it. But you'll come face to face with extra dimensional beings. Once you open the puzzle box, you come to face with the Cenobites, extra dimensional beings who specialize in suffering. And they're known as the Cenobites. And Pinhead is the leader of the Cenobites. And I thought, a lot of critics, actually, I'm not going to say, critics, but a lot of people who, on the YouTube community and on Twitter who review films, a lot of people saw the film before, a lot of critics per se, or saw the film before its release this past Friday on Hulu. And for the last couple of weeks, really the last 2 weeks gearing up to the film's release, I have heard everything from this film was just as good as the original Hellraiser from the 1980s, or it had surpassed it and it was better. A lot of us sometimes, even including myself, I get caught up in this. We become prisoner of the moment, where we see something brand new, glossy, and because the last past entries in a series haven't been that great, they've been lackluster, we tend to think that this is the one that is spectacular and it has surpassed the original. And, becoming prisoner of the moment can cause you a lot of retracting. Trust me, I know. But because the last, 7, 8, 9 Hellraiser films was lackluster, when you see something that's a good product, you tend to gravitate to it and you tend to be like, oh, this film is amazing. This film is one of the best, blah, blah, blah. But my personal opinion on this film is I thought the film was good. I thought it was okay. I thought it was good. Was it better than the original Hellraiser film? Absolutely not. It wasn't better. Was it just as good as the original Hellraiser film? It was a good film, but I'm not going to nowhere near say it was better. I don't even think this film is better than Hellraiser 2. I think it's right after, Hellraiser 2 as being the third best entry in the franchise. But, let's just slow our horses here. I thought that Jamie Clayton, She did a good job as Pinhead. She definitely did a better job than some of the previous actors who've played Pinhead, like Stephen or Stephen, however you want to pronounce his name, Stephen Smith. Remember, he played Pinhead. He played a Pinhead that needed to hit the gym and lose a little weight. I mean, he was a pudgy Pinhead. I mean, let's just call it for what it is. The man had nice, pudgy, cute cheeks. He was a pudgy, fat Pinhead. He looked like Pinhead, had too many burgers, for real. So she was definitely a better Pinhead than Stephen Smith. Paul T. Taylor. Now, I can't say that I'm 1000% familiar with the two Hellraiser films that he was in, Hellraiser Revelations and Hellraiser Judgment. Even though I would say that I've seen about 70 to 75% of the sequels after Hellraiser 2, Paul T. Taylor definitely looked the part. He definitely, I can't really say I remember the films correctly because that was so long ago and the films were just kind of like blah. If you look at Paul T. Taylor, he definitely looked the part of Pinhead. Definitely he looked more of the part than Stephen Smith, for sure. But I feel that Jamie Clayton, back to the comparison between Doug Bradley and Jamie Clayton, I think Jamie Clayton did a good job. It was okay. So Jamie, I felt she did a serviceable job as Pinhead. But I thought the look of the film was good. I thought it was very dark. It had a nice look. The cinematography was good. The blood, the gore, the horror, I thought that was there. Some of the kills were pretty good. But I thought it was, I thought the film did kind of drag just a little bit in the beginning, kind of leading up to, the climax, of course, and the plot and storyline. They wanted to set the tone and show you how she was struggling. The lead actress in the film, that was the person that was recovering, she was recovering addict. They wanted you to, to give you a little backstory on her, to let you know about her struggle with her addiction. They wanted to let you know about her struggle with her addictions and things of that nature, So I thought she did a good job. But overall, I just thought the film was okay. If I had out of 4 stars, I would maybe give it I would say it was about a 2.5. Maybe a 3 stars out of 4, probably like a 2.5. There was nothing groundbreaking with this film. So that's why I was surprised when people were saying, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm thinking, wow, this is the film that people were saying was just as good or as better than the original. But there was nothing groundbreaking in this film. I thought the Cenobites, for the most part, looked pretty okay. They looked it well. The Cenobites, you know what? Let me just be honest. I just didn't get that feel. Like Jamie Clayton was okay, but from her, and not to compare her so much with Doug Bradley because we're comparing 2 different generations and 2 different actors, but I just didn't get that feel of dominance, that feel of Jamie Clayton just didn't scare the hell out of me like Doug Bradley did. Jamie Clayton was not intimidating to me. You know what I'm saying? So when I say intimidating, like if I open up the puzzle box configuration, the lament configuration, and the Cenobites are right there in front of me, and Pinhead, Jamie Clayton's version, is right in front of me, I'm not gonna feel intimidated. She just didn't give me that intimidation factor like Doug Bradley did. I'm just sorry, like I just didn't feel threatened by her Pinhead. She was more of a lightweight, like a lighter Pinhead compared to, the more stern and the more horrifying just looking Doug Bradley. And maybe because it was Doug Bradley's voice was just so, stern and just so magnified the way they alter his voice. But I just didn't get that intimidation factor from her. So this is why I'm just saying it's an okay film. I would definitely say watch it. It's Halloween time, so watch it. If you're a fan of these films like I am, whether it be Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees or Leatherface, Pinhead, definitely check it out. But this film was just okay. I can't say that it did anything for me as putting it, compared to like I said, the sequels from Hellraiser after 2, of course, is going to be pretty high because the ball was dropped clearly after number 2. But it was okay. It was just an okay film. But let me know for sure. Let's light up the comment section. Let me know what you think about this film because I definitely want to know your thoughts on it. This is the E for One Entertainment for One podcast, and I will check y'all later. Peace. Peace. Big peace. Have a great day.